Hey guys, today we'll talk about LLM API integration with Qliksense. It could be any LLM of our choice. It could be Gemini or OpenAI, and we are going to integrate Qliksense with LLM API with the help of Vizlib extension. Okay, via REST API. So let's get started. So I'm going with Gemini in this video. So all we need is a Gmail account. Get into Colab, and you will be seeing a welcome page where you can get into Google AI Studio. So log in with your Gmail account, click on Get API key and create API key. That's it. So keep your API key will be generated. Make sure you are keeping it safe somewhere. And if you scroll down, you will be seeing a sample code as well. So it's a curl code. So this gives us the basic structure, right? So how to pass a post API and the headers and body structure, everything. So with this as a sample, we will be connecting to this LLM API from Qliksense. Okay, so let's get started. So as I said, I'm going to use Vizlib to do this. Let me create a Vizlib button. So inside button, I'm going to add an action. The action is going to be my API integration, and it has got a request wizard. So with this wizard will help us to configure all the required details. So we are going to do a post request to this URL. So this is our URL, and the type is post. So let me select post, and we'll pass the URL over here. There are no parameters. Authorization is default, and headers. So we got couple of headers over here. These two H items. So one is the content type. So let me pass that, and it's going to be JSON. And let me add one more item. So we have one more header, which is nothing but the API key. So we have to pass the API key, whatever we generated over here. Okay, and that's it, all done. So now the final section is body. So this portion, the data portion hyphen D. So after that, whatever you have within single quotes, this is our body. So let me copy and paste it over here. Okay, so all set. Settings, the response is going to be JSON. Save. Okay, so we are done configuring the button. Now what happens is when we click on this button, it is go. Okay, so before that, let me also configure one more item in the body. So this is the prompt we are going to pass, right? So let me customize it. Let's say explain REST API in 50 words. Okay, so this is the prompt which I'm going to pass. Okay, right now it's a static prompt, so I'm hard coding my question or prompt here. So let me apply save. Yeah, so now, so when we click on this button, it is going to pass this prompt to the LLM API, which and that will give us some response. So that response will be captured here in this variable. Okay, so if you look at this place, we have something called custom variable, where we have this default variable where the response will be captured. So we can either go with this custom variable, or we can create our own variable. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll create a variable called v response. Okay, now let me go back to button. I'll pass my variable v response. I'm going to type it over here so that when I go to effect, so now when we click on this button, it's going to hit the API, and you could see the response is stored back to this variable. Okay, so we can either go with the default variable, or we can give our own custom variable. So if you see here, there is an option to give custom variable over here. So I'll give v response. Okay, v response as my custom variable. This is where I'm going to capture the API response. Now let me hit this. So now you could see the response is saved to v response. So now let's see what is present inside this variable. So I'll pull a text box and I'll add a variable over here, v response. Remember, this variable is created by Vizlib, not on the Qliksense variable editor. So I'll just enclose this in a single quotes, and let's quickly have a look at the content. So we could see the API response is captured in this variable. So basically, what happens when we click on this button is, let me click on F12 and I'll go to network section. So now we can visualize what's happening when I click on this button. So we basically see there was a hit to the API and my prompt was passed. You could see the prompt and we could see the response. So basically this response is captured in this variable, and that is what we are seeing it over here. So there are many sections in this variable. The portion between after this text, that's the response, actual response we got. And other than that, we also have other details like our model version, token count, and so on. So once, since we have this content now captured in our variable, so we can play with that and we can get the required output. Okay. So let me maximize it. So we are going to pick only the details between these two sections, the text and the role. Okay. So I'm going to use a text between function to do that. So let me use text between, and my variable, I'm going to say show me all the values between these two delimiters. So basically whatever is between text and role. Okay. So now it is not completed yet. So we could see all this double quotes, colon. So let me get rid of that as well. So we have to say double quotes, colon, double quotes. So that is done. And here we also we do see some additional characters. So double quotes, curly, square. So let me get rid of that as well. So double quotes, curly, square, comma, I believe. Let me check. Yes. So now the output is cleaned, and I also see a slash n. Maybe I can use a function called replace. Okay, so I'll simply say replace slash n wherever you see slash n with empty. Okay, so now that is gone. So this way we can claim the output and we can pick and choose our content from this API response. So in this video we have kept the prompt as a static value. In our next video we will see how to make this prompt dynamic, and we'll also see how we can use this to analyze our Qliksense dataset. So hope we got some basic understanding about LLM APIs and how to hit LLM APIs via Vizlib button through REST API. Please do let me know in the comment section for any clarification. Thanks for watching.